Hello and welcome everybody to the Majors Monday update. As usual, we're going to talk about crypto majors, also having a look at the SPX and simply talking about what is going on and how I'm preparing. So first of all, BTC keeps on ranging. We have like a big red candle today. Last week I scaled into this short here. I am not on full size, unfortunately, because my main entry got front run, but that's totally fine. I have this other one here up as well. And as I said many times before, at higher time frame, extreme premium, all-time high, after 3 years of bull market, I think it's very wise to be a higher time frame seller. And because I have sold already most of my spot holdings, I'm selling more now with shorts because this gives me more flexibility. I'm in a better position overall because I have some long exposure, I have some short exposure. I have no real bias, pressure of like, oh, I need to be right on this one to make money. No, it doesn't really matter what the market does. I either pay a stop loss here or round trip some gains there or whatever it is. I'm pretty much happy with it. And my bias is still more bearish simply because we are at extreme premium after 3 years of up only basically. So being short on BTC, I have not like this is pretty much my only position right now. In crypto, bigger position. I have, as said, some spot holdings left, not on ETH, but some Dogecoin and stuff like that. But this is all just meant as a hedge for my main thesis of being wrong, because I never like go fully in or fully out. I always layer my ideas, scale my ideas, and so I have a hedge of my main thesis being wrong, which is then still having some long exposure here. Good. So fully out of ETH, I hope for an entry up there. It seems it won't happen. Right now we're still ranging. This trend line adds significant bias to the whole thing. I could also pull it here, but I think it has more touches here. And it's definitely not looking that strong. Should we like start going higher from here, taking out those highs? We can talk about at least internally back to the range high. But other than that, we are testing this area for the fourth, fifth time, 4.5 time, whatever. And I think if we not like really quick have some buyers stepping in here, I think we're gonna go for those lower levels. So looking at majors, the picture only gets confirmed even more. So first, tether dominance. I have said many times before, this was just a thought experiment in the members live stream. As said many times before, we have internally higher highs, we make higher lows, more or less a higher high if you don't really count the wick, higher low. Now the question is, we are between those two levels. And the question remains, like, as long as we are trading within those highs and lows, we're just ranging, right? But if we now take this high and maybe even this one, we start making more higher highs. And if I then look at the higher time frame picture, we haven't really like changed the higher time frame structure. The only thing we have done is making a higher low here. But other than that, this is all also just a big range. But one thing is pretty significant, and I think we shouldn't ignore this. Let me just remove here a little bit of this clutter. Oh, yeah, this is from swing high and swing low. Yeah, we have formed a bullish breaker block here, which is bullish for dominance. And it's slightly touched, right? But I mean, it's a monthly level. Or is it slightly touched? Let's check it. Oh no, it's not. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, but it's, I would consider it untouched. The 0.5 of this block is untouched, and we left this behind. We have no break of structure on higher time frame as said, but internally we seem to go higher, and on a daily the picture gets pretty clear. We seem to go higher, and we formed the breaker block. So not the most bullish sign for the rest of the market. It just adds confluence to my thesis of being short or being a high time frame seller up here makes perfect sense. And so I think, yeah, you can do with this information what you want, but all of those majors are looking somewhat strong. And if they start to not look strong anymore, we can still like shift the bias. But you see, we have even taken out this key high here on USDCD. So stay alert. Don't force your buys just because you were up significant or just because you like expected more money of this cycle or whatever it is. Just don't force your buys onto the chart. Trade the charts. Don't look for reasons why you could be wrong, why you could be, don't look for reasons why you could be right. Also look for reasons why you could be wrong. This is very important. There's always a counter side to every little thesis. You should have the counter perspective and okay, what if I'm wrong? And then you adjust probabilities. And as said, there in my view, there is no 100% guarantee. This is why I lay out all my ideas. And even if I think like okay, we go high and we go lower from here, I have still some long exposure. And this still means I'm gonna round trip some profits or like pay something back, whatever you want to call it. But I paid this money back for the as hedge of being like my insurance of being wrong. If I sell everything here because I say, oh yeah, prices are going down and just they're just rip higher, I'm feeling like an idiot and I'm like missing out some profits or I do stupid stuff because of my mental game and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just always about having the best performance. What's also very important that you can handle your mental game and like with hedging and all that, instead of like being 100% long crypto, you could also be like 70% long, 30% short, and still have some cash and all that. And you will see once you start doing that, the whole game feels so much easier. It's not just like hoping for this one idea to play out. No, you have several ideas, and for each one you have some kind of plan, you have a backup plan, you're hedged, and all of that will help your mental game. And for most people, after they understand how to read a chart, the mental game is what holds them back because they do stupid stuff, they take stupid decisions, all that kind of stuff gets way easier if you start thinking in probabilities and also position yourself in probabilities. Yeah, BTCD grinding higher, looking a little weird, but I mean, it's definitely an upgrind. We had the topic about ETH dominance and ETH BTC. ETH dominance is technically still above this trend line. We are still in the level, so still at demand. Maybe it's not the best time to be uber bullish, uber bearish ETH, but at the same time, as long as we can take out those horizontals here, it's still a downtrend, right? And ETH BTC looks even a little weaker. This level reacted already, so yeah, time will tell. I'm not short ETH for this reason because as I've shown you on the ETH chart, I expect like getting back to the range high or to the higher end of the range makes sense. And I would take a short there. Also based on those charts, maybe we get a retest of those highs or something. So more bearish BTC right now than I'm ETH, but overall still bearish in both. BWOL still reacting. We were at all-time high for quite a while. It's reacting aggressive. You just need to look at this chart compared to the BTC price, and you will see every time we hit demand or supply, it was a big inflection point. And after 3 years of up only, we hit this lower level here again, and now price is technically like breaking structure to the downside. So to me, this again um, adds just the confluence to being bearish. We had on the weekend low volatility. Now we're reacting as we have seen. Total, yeah, pretty much looks like BTC. Total 2, same, pretty much looks like ETH. We have broken structure internally. Now this level should provide a reaction soon. If there is not big buyers stepping in very soon, yeah, I think we're gonna go down and retest this area here. Time will tell. Time will tell. For now, nothing is lost within this little range here, but as said, like externally from this range and looking at the bigger picture, we have broken structure to the downside, even though we haven't taken out this one, but here was our first sign of a breakdown. And as said, I would love to see some strength here for everybody that's still very long, but the more often a level gets touched, and the longer we spend here, the more of the buyers have been like already absorbed. And so at some point the buyers are just not existent anymore, and then the level breaks or fails. But we will see. Don't want to make any too precise predictions here because many things can happen. Yeah, we have the Japanese interest rates are not changed, like similar to in 2007. We went like sideways for a while. Also in 2000, we went sideways for a while. Could be enough already to bring up some carry trade trauma again. We will see. Time will tell. still think the thesis makes a lot of sense, um, because still nobody seems to talk about it and nobody seems to look at it. Everybody's looking at conversations between China and USA and blah, but we have like this under the hood. Nobody's talking about this, and also Venezuela and USA have some kind of things going on there. I think some things are brewing, and if I look at the chart or charts, in this case the SPX, yeah, it's definitely not like the best time to be really, really, really bullish. And as I said in my written update, we break those angles sometimes, and we just go higher, like we did here, basically. But to me, it's just a no-brainer to try to get in some shorts on majors, simply because we're at higher time frame extreme premium. Very few people actually talk about the risk, and yeah, to me, it just makes perfect sense to try to get into a short here. And if I get stopped, I don't really care, right? All of my longs and my alt stocks and all that stuff will easily pay for the stop. I don't know why people are so scared of like just giving it a try, right? But what's the worst thing that can happen? I pay a stop. Ooh, yeah, that's why I manage risk, right? So what's the real problem? I may be wrong on this idea, and that's totally fine. But according to my strategy, we have a shift in momentum, and we are at extreme premium. We pumped quite aggressive, and so I definitely want to be a seller here, and that's what I am in stocks and in crypto. But I'm still also in stocks. I have 50% of long exposure on those alt stocks, and as I said, should I be wrong on this idea, it's easily covered. Yeah, so much to the majors. BTC, let's see how this day plays out. Wouldn't be surprised if we start properly into Rectember. And other than that, stay safe, guys. Don't force your buys. Stay adaptable, stay flexible, prepare for every outcome, not just the one you like to see. And have a great week ahead. Bye bye.